What's up guys, Phoenix here, and today we're going to be addressing Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, and specifically her impact on the Burning Abyss deck or Burning Abyss variants, whether it be pure Burning Abyss or whether it be PK Fire, i.e. Phantom Knight Burning Abyss. The deck is nicknamed PK Fire by most of the people that play it because, I mean, shit man, Ness. If you don't know that name, then you're not going to understand. But regardless, this card has allowed the Burning Abyss deck and any sort of deck that involves summoning Dante into an entirely different direction that the deck's never been able to adapt into before. Basically, it allows your engine card, your best engine card, your recycling card, your accelerant card, all that, Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, it allows you to functionally turn that card into a tangible trap. And this is something that we've never had. Granted, you've always been able to get traps back off Dante. That's definitely not something that's been an issue. You've had Fire Lake and Traveler that you could easily get back off Dante and loop those things around and have stuff like that at your disposal. But what I'm specifically talking about is the ability for Dante itself to instantly become a functional trap card. And one that's actually very good and, kind of stunnish to boot, and also just kind of hard to deal with. For those of you that are not aware of what Beatrice's actual effect is, its summoning conditions is any 2 level 6s. You can make it in any deck that makes level 6s, and in that deck, it's just going to be a functional replacement for the Volleyball Chain. But in the Burning Abyss deck, you're able to summon this card by overlaying it on top of a Dante monster you control by discarding a Burning Abyss monster from your hand. Usually you want to be doing this by like floating Skarms or something like that to get searches, recuperating your advantage. But typically you do end up taking a -1 into Beatrice in about half the cases that you actually play the card competitively. But it makes up for it in so many different ways because of the fact that it is a reactive card that turns your Dante into more cards. Dante itself that you overlaid on top of will be getting a card back. This card has to be dealt with, as well as the fact that it's a functional trap by sending Farfas and Alex from your deck to your graveyard, all that nonsense. This is something I cannot stress enough that we've never had this sort of thing before, and it's definitely why there's a lot of new life being breathed into Burning Abyss in terms of people wanting to play the deck now, with Beatrice being an additional asset to the deck. For those of you that are still unaware and haven't read it on screen at this point because I'm putting it on screen of the video, its effect is once per turn during either player's turn, you can attach an Exceeds material from this card, send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard. And then if this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card, by battle or card effect, and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon 1 Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. This can either be another Exceeds Dante, it can be a Virgil, or it can be Pilgrim Dante, the big fusion that you really don't want to summon any other way. And that card itself is a problematic card to deal with as well because it cannot be targeted. It's basically Cosmo Forerunner, but for Burning Abyss, and also functions as a draw engine. That's actually really, really good overall. But the main reason that Beatrice shines in the Burning Abyss deck is, like I've already said, it turns your Dantes into trap cards. Farfa and Alex, specifically, being in your deck, allow you access into cards that allow you to disrupt your opponent's plays on their turn. Whether it be Alec negating the effect of something, turning Beatrice into a functional breakthrough skill, or Farfa blinking something out until the end of the turn, disrupting whatever play your opponent might be trying to do. And then also the fact that you could back this up with other traps, the fact that you were detaching Dante off of this most likely, and Dante is adding back our resource. All these different things just kind of stack up. Beatrice, when you summon it, you typically do, like I've said, take a -1 in some, if not most cases, but you instantly recuperate that advantage that you lost off the fact that you're usually able to stack a Skarm in some method to get a search, and that recoups a card, and then Dante itself, when it hits the grave, it recoups a card. Like, all these different things are factors, so you actually don't end up taking minuses in the long run, especially considering the fact that you are using this as a functional engine card. If your opponent does not have anything that they're trying to do that warrants you using Beatrice's effect, you can still just use it as an engine card. You can send Skarm on your opponent's end phase. You can send Cowcab on your opponent's end phase and bounce your opponent's sets if they just set one and pass. Like, you can do that sort of nonsense. There's so many different little intricate plays and little intricacies that you can do in the game now because of Beatrice. You can send like all these different, you can send Cagna, set up Good and Evil to be live for your very next turn after you draw. There's all these different things that allows you a lot of moldability in your plays, and that only gets more and more moldable as you introduce like the Phantom Knight cards into the deck, because then you have, you know, the ability to set up multiple trap summons. You have all this different nonsense. You can, you know, set up Searches of Fogblade, which is Fiendish Chain, giving you more traps. All these different things. Basically, finally being able to turn Dante into actual something that can actually interact in a negative way for your opponent, rather than just being a card that's constantly floating around and maintaining advantage. Being able to turn that card that is an engine card and an accelerant for the Burning Abyss deck into an actual card that can be reactive has just had a huge boost into what the Burning Abyss deck is capable of doing. Any Burning Abyss variant going forward is going to be very heavily functioned around Beatrice, because of the fact that Beatrice is the Volvo Chain, and that card is banned for a reason. This is a Volvo Chain during either player's turn, mind you, so even then its effect was already really good. Its effect is the exact same as a card that is currently on the ban list for a very legitimate reason. But even if that wasn't the case, the fact that the cards that you send can be very reactive and cause you to make this card into either another engine card, a pinpoint engine card, or a trap, a reactive trap, just overall just makes it an extremely good and relevant card for the Burning Abyss variants to be using. And that's basically just it. I kind of wanted to make this video for people that seem to not understand this. I kind of take for granted that people might know this kind of stuff, because this information about Beatrice has been out for months. But some people still just don't understand, because it hasn't been said in a while, of the fact that, or like no one's really explained it in sort of like an easy to understand but competitively applicable mind like set orientation kind of thing. I don't know what the sentence I'm looking for is. Regardless, Beatrice makes Burning Abyss really good now, and Phantom Knights really good, because, as I've already said, it turns your Dantes into a trap or just another engine card that has to be dealt with. That's basically all I can really continue to say over and over again until the point sinks in. But other than that, let me know what you guys think about this video and about Beatrice itself. If you like Beatrice, if you like Burning Abyss, any of that sort of nonsense, let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious as to what people's opinions are, as per usual. But other than that, as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. Links are in the description to my Facebook pages and my Twitch links if you want to check those out. Connect with me, chat with me, follow my live stream page to get notified when I go on for live streamings, all that sort of nonsense. Feel free to do that. That's what they're there for. But other than that, as always, guys, take care. If you have any other topics that you'd like me to maybe address and talk about in these sort of like just casual discussion type videos, definitely let me know. Leave a comment down below, or send it to like my Facebook page, send it a message or something. And I'll definitely probably look into it. But take care, guys.